Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be casting a couple of 2v2 ranked games between GarrettG and Musty, and they're going up against Parth and Demon. So GarrettG there, just starting as authority. You have to tackle your twos teammate sometimes when you've got a better line in the dribble than they do now, but all jokes aside, let's see how Garrett and Musty synergize here. Obviously Garrett is one of the best players in the world. Musty's a very high rated player, you know, comfortably supersonic legend if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, the keys to playing in a matchup like this, where you're up against some very mechanically skilled players, very fast players, is defense. And it's going to be all about trying to never leave each other isolated. And I'm not just talking about GarrettG leaving Musty isolated, I mean both ways, because GarrettG, even though he's a great player, won't be able to hold back Demon and Parth here forever if he is alone. And of course the same is true for anyone in this lobby. It goes both ways. 2v2 is all about recoveries, it's all about defense, it's all about synergizing in defense. Right now we're actually seeing a bit of a gap here that Musty might be able to exploit, but looks like they will concede possession. And although Parth doesn't have a lot of boost, he does flick it over Garrett. You see there immediately Garrett is flying back down to the ground as soon as he does jump up for the challenge and realizes it's not going to work. The reason he's doing that is so that he can just recover as quickly as possible and get back into the game. Now the opponents here for Garrett and Musty are rotating extremely far back, and that's leaving some space to be exploited. It looks like Musty didn't expect that whiff to come through, so he wasn't ready for the shot. But you always have to be aware that that mistake can happen. Musty wisely playing around the block there, and that's a great shot. GarrettG, first player to really get a clean look at the goal, and he stuck it right over the goalkeeper with a good bit of pace on it. Nice finish by Garrett, but you can clearly see already, you know, Musty's hanging in this lobby no problem. He's actually made a couple of outplays on Parth and Demon, who are, you know, very mechanical players. I have seen Parth qualify for RLCS recently in top 24 stages, not even just top 20, top 32. But of course Musty only missed out on that by a game. Oh, look at this! Musty actually gets an extra touch here. That's a great play. In fact, I want to give that one a quick rewind and see how much of a team play this was. That was really nicely done. Look at this by GarrettG. Oh my. Hits it on the reverse, straight into the net. That's a great pass by Musty. Very nice touch straight down into the middle. Passing straight forward like that in twos is sometimes a bit risky, because it tends to be the easiest angle to intercept from the opponent's perspective. But if you are going to be synergizing that well, especially if you're in team comms, which I imagine Garrett and Musty are, then you can call it nice and early, and you can get a nice play set up. Garrett now looking for Musty on the infield. Actually just goes all the way himself. GarrettG with 3 goals. Musty was there to make the goal a bit bigger, of course. He was waiting in the center, so even if Garrett did miss, it would have found the back of the net regardless. But you know, the key so far, and the thing that's really stood out to me from Musty's gameplay, is he's playing a very, very safe game. He's not trying to be too fancy, he's not trying to do anything crazy and style on these players. You know, he knows that, and you know, same thing for Garrett really. Nothing, you know, we haven't seen any multiple flip reset plays or, you know, insane risky solo plays. It's been all about safety. Okay, getting a bit lucky there though, Musty. Oh, another whiff comes through. It's another open net, but it's missed, and the third time it will go in. Parth and Demon find the back of the net, third time lucky there. Initially, it looked like Musty was just under a bit of pressure from a lack of boost, and then he never recovered from that awkward position. It was constant pressure, and it was constant pressure that they weren't able to hold on to. Now notice every time that Musty's making a center ball opportunity happen, he is playing the ball around the defense, not shooting from these risky angles, especially not shooting straight into goalkeepers. Now this is actually a very common mistake in the lower ranks, as players will very often try to shoot straight at the goal and get blocked. They'll get dunked on, and it just really gets them in a lot of trouble. Great bump there off the back wall. That was definitely surprising, but it looks like Musty's still going to be at the back. He's trying to waste some time, but unfortunately doesn't waste enough time. Garrett was super out of the game there. I'm not sure if Musty realized just how heavy of a hit Garrett took in that last play, because if he did, he probably would have tried to play that one a little bit more safely. More physical play there. Garrett's avoided it by going into the goal, but the double touch comes through, and that is the threat of the demo play really taking effect there. Garrett was forced into the net to avoid the demo. That left the backboard completely open, and it was going to be very hard to save that double touch, even if they did get goal side of it. So not the greatest flick there by Parth. He will get denied by Musty. And again, Garrett being chased up on the back wall. That demo threat is still very prevalent. The comeback is on for Demon and Parth. That was a reset, in fact, by Demon, but he couldn't catch up to the ball. Musty just needs to try and stall here. Just needs to try and buy some time, keep the ball close to himself if he can. You know, taking a 50-50 in these positions is always better than giving it away, and you can see that that is exactly what he was trying to do there. Just stay behind the ball, make sure that he doesn't give it away for free. But Garrett's a little bit overextended here. You will ball chase in the recovery. That's very important. The GarrettG challenge from the back there. Oh, look at that recovery by Garrett. Phenomenal stuff. Very awkward position, but he makes it look easy. Now, this is a bit of a risky one, but Musty handles it very well. For a moment there, Garrett left Musty to challenge the ball and kind of to cover the goal at the same time. But I believe the reason Garrett did that is because he realized there was no chance for Parth and Demon to get a good shot on net. That's a good clear by Musty. They only have to hold on here for a few more seconds. It would be devastating to lose a 4-goal lead. So they should not be pressing up to try and get a 5th goal here late in the game. I mean, both of them are positioning somewhat aggressively, but not because they want to all in for a goal. They're just trying to deny the clears, trying to waste the time, and there Musty does let the ball drop. So they take the first game in this little ranked mini-series. Very well played by all players. Garrett got all the goals, but Musty had a lot of goal participation there. 3 assists credited, and every single goal, he was actually playing a part of that. So great synergy between these two. And yeah, no real weaknesses. It was just good, solid play from Parth and Demon, pressuring Garrett and Musty into awkward positions, and that's what enabled them to start the comeback here. Okay, let's get into the second game. Again, Garrett and Musty on the blue team, Demon and Parth on the orange team. These two games did happen in the order that I'm showing them to you. So although Garrett and Musty took the first game 4-3, I'm sure Parth and Demon they'll feel like they've figured out Garrett and Musty a little bit. They definitely had a good little comeback going at the end of the game there. And they might be able to continue this into the next game. Okay, so briefly there, Garrett left alone in a 1v1, so Musty taking a bit too long to recover there, and that's what isolated Garrett. That was entirely a solo play in defense. And obviously, you never want that to happen in 2v2. You don't want anyone to have to defend a dribble by themselves. You always want to have pressure on the dribbler from behind. And Garrett opens the scoring again. This one, a double touch off the near post. So it looks like the goalkeeper was more afraid of the immediate shot. So smart decision by Garrett, surprised him with the pass to himself. So Garrett will back off and let Musty take the ball under control. Again, you can notice Musty's always trying to play around those dunks. He's always trying to play around the blocks, and a mistake there. Coming out of Parth and Demon. It's a very awkward position here, but they do manage to hold on to it. That's actually really smart. If you're wondering why Musty's just driven straight past the ball there and gone for a bump on the opponent's car, there's a few reasons, but the biggest reason is the opponents had no momentum. They had no way to generate a ton of power on that ball in order to clear it. So why give it to them? Why 50-50 in the back corner and give the ball all the power that the opponents actually want it to have? So that's why you really don't want to go for 50-50s in the back corner when your opponents are just sitting behind the ball like that. Unless you see them sitting on the outside of the ball and you can maybe dunk it straight into the net. That's a different story. But yeah, very smart decision there. Boost steals, demos tend to be very smart in that position. Good finish here. Garrett will slot in Musty's shot that bounced off the post. And again, it's Garrett and Musty who are starting off these games with a bit more synergy. So no momentum continuing from the first game into this one, even though the comeback was on. Double touch threat again there. Musty had a decent recovery off the sidewall. He wasn't leaving Garrett alone for too long. And that's some nice passing and defense from Musty and GarrettG. Parth going for the solo dribble. You'll notice GarrettG straight away there, closed the distance, made it into a bit more of a pressured play. Parth had to rush himself, and Musty stuck in a very good challenge actually. And again, straight up into the air. This is brilliant defense by Garrett and Musty in this exchange. Always following up on each other's challenges immediately, leaving no window for someone to outplay one of them, recover, and then go for an outplay on the second one. Oh, just out of reach there. Demon wanted the double touch, but he couldn't get it. It looks like they will get the boost steal, though. That's a really good boost steal by Demon. Musty and Garrett are both pretty stranded at the moment. They're trying to pick up small pads. Accidental side flip by Parth. Garrett saved up enough boost to beat him to that ball. And Demon again, playing for the demo. He's a very, very aggressive player, it seems. near the goal. Garrett with a bit of a risky play there, but oh, saved by Musty. And Musty, in an attempt to pass the ball to Garrett down the line, has actually been intercepted and got a bit too greedy there for the team play. It's a good idea to try and pass down the line. It's one of the best ways to start a counter-attack when your teammate just lands in that position. But Musty actually went against what he's been doing in these games there. He accidentally hit the ball straight into the dunk, and it did indeed work against them. GarrettG pressuring on the recovery again. You'll see pretty much every high-level 2s player do that these days. There's no rotation back post in 2v2. It's always ball pressure on the recovery. It's always demo the dribbler from behind. Let your teammate chill out in goal. That's a good save in the recovery by Garrett. Musty may have had that as well, actually, and you know, that's a position where you kind of have to double commit because the shot is so dangerous, and the recovery is going to be fast either way there for Garrett because he's coming in sideways. He can just slide off that sidewall, get right back into the play. Better to send 2 players than none to defend a shot like that. Musty pulls out of a clear ball attempt when he realized Garrett's gone for it. This is really nice interception play. Very disruptive from GarrettG. Musty would just love to get 100 boost going. He's been low on boost for a lot of this game, and sometimes that happens. You just end up in a game where your corner boosts keep getting stolen, and more importantly, they keep getting stolen in positions where you're not really ready for it to be stolen. You didn't have time to path over a bunch of small pads or let go of the boost button. Now the boost advantage starting to come in clutch. Musty still starved there. Had no chance against an accurate double touch like that. And it will be a tie game. Another comeback by Parth and Demon, except this one is fully functional. They're in a tie game with only a few seconds left. It's all about keeping the boost management in check. That's what's caused Musty and Garrett to be caught in defense for so long there. Maybe a bit too careless with their boost usage. Oh, Garrett just off target with a double touch. He was trying to keep that one as high as possible, seeing the pre-jump that was coming towards him. Speaking of as high as possible, Garrett goes all the way to the ceiling with an air dribble, and he does run into Demon when he gets back down to the ground. There was that infield dunk there from Musty into a back pass, and he has to stay with it. Garrett didn't want to commit on that one. As last man back, taking a 50-50 with the first man of the opponent team in 2s tends to be a bit risky. Now, pressure on Demon and Parth. Will they go for a 0-second play here? They're not going to bother. So overtime it is for the second game. And you would expect these 2 teams to be pretty evenly ranked. Garrett's always one of the highest rated 2s players. Musty's a Supersonic Legend player, and I expect Parth and Demon to be somewhere in between. So whoever wins this game will probably come out with the positive exchange in the points total. Oh my, GarrettG, what a recovery that is. It's hit the bar, and no one was ready for it. Musty was in the area, but he didn't expect it to be whiffed. GarrettG puts it in himself. And that is that. So let's go and take another look at that final goal. It was GarrettG's double that almost went in, and then Musty passed it into the backboard in the chaos. Well done, GarrettG. Spots the opening. He saw the in and out save coming, but he managed to squeeze it in between them. So, pretty good games there. GarrettG was the player scoring all the goals for him and Musty. But that's what you have to do when you're playing with one of the best players in the world like GarrettG. You want to enable him as much as possible, and again, Musty had some good goal participation here. Just direct assists for the second and third goal. The first one, of course, was the little rebound off the near post after faking a shot from Garrett. But you know, aside from letting the boost management go a little bit out the window in the middle of this game, very solid performance by these 2. Good synergy in defense. They're following up on each other's plays very well, and they're not taking any unnecessary risks. This is what try-hard, high-rated ranked gameplay looks like when you're running into a team who are trying to demo you, who are trying to take all your boosts, and ultimately trying to put you in uncomfortable positions so that you concede. But yeah, GG's. I know a lot of people are going to be wondering, did Garrett carry? Well, I would say yes, but it wasn't a hard carry. This wasn't a carry like it would be if he was playing with me. It was definitely just a light carry. You know, a little bit of extra weights on the workout. Maybe he had those ankle weights or something, and he went out for a jog. It's something similar to that, just a little bit different. But Musty's definitely good enough by the looks of things. You know, from what I've seen from his gameplay recently, and in these games as well, he looks like he's more than capable of hanging in these lobbies. And on a good game, I'm sure he could also be the one to pop off and score 3 goals. It's just, yeah, GarrettG is the best North American player to ever play the game. So anybody, literally anybody, with a controller, a keyboard, and a Rocket League account, could get into a game with them and be carried just like this. Well played to everybody here. Very high level stuff. And I hope that you guys enjoyed that. It's just a little short recorded video here. I've not been streaming much recently with the holidays and preparation for Smug Forge on December 27th. But I hope you guys are all having a good one. I hope you're all having a good time with Christmas and New Year in the build up to it. Don't eat too much food. Remember, drink plenty of water. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great one. See you on December 27th, all of you who are going to tune in for Smug 4. Should be a good one. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. Probably the most stacked matchups we've had yet. But appreciate you guys a lot. These are some good games. I hope you guys enjoyed the cast. And I'll see you guys in the next one.